Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I still can't believe I could say that. In today's video, we're going to be doing Get Ready With Me, and the subject is going to be a little bit heavier today because I want to discuss problematic beauty influencers. While I do my makeup for the day, we're going to be discussing different influencers such as Colleen Ballinger and James Charles, and the people who are supporting those predators. If any of that interests you, keep on watching. I'm going to start off with what I normally do, eyeshadow, so my eyes are primed if you could tell. I used the Morphe Eyelid Primer in Translucent. This is almost done. This has been a great primer because it creates a nice base for eyeshadow and it makes your eyeshadow last all day. For the palette I choose for my look today, I'm going to use the Extravaganza palette from Trixie Cosmetics. This is a collaboration between Laganja Estranja and Trixie Mattel. This is the color story. I really gravitate toward the neutral side of this palette, and I'm gonna go in with this matte shade Chicken Nugget, and then I'm gonna add this shimmer Props to You all over it, and that's the look. I'm a big fan of Trixie Mattel, and I love Trixie Cosmetics, obviously. I already laid down the shade Chicken Nugget. Now I'm taking a clean finger, digging into this shimmer Props to You, and adding it to my lid. I just want to make something very clear. You are going to see me use makeup from different influencers. I support a bunch of different brands, and I've had a bunch of makeup from different influencers for a while, but that does not mean I support anything they have said or done in the past or condone their behavior. I just want to make that very clear. The eye look is done, something very simple. I like it. Now moving on to the rest of the face. I'm going to prime with the NYX Plump Right Back primer. This is a priming serum that has electrolytes in it. This is the texture. It's like a clear gel. It has a nice, fresh, clean scent to it. And it has just a little bit of tack, so your foundation will definitely stick. Next, I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade Fair. So a lot is going on in the beauty community right now. And for those who don't know, popular influencer James Charles launched his makeup brand Painted near the beginning of August. And a lot of people were complaining about the cost of shipping and how long it was taking for their items to arrive. And now the first reviews have come in and they're really not looking good. Oh my God, my entire face is glowing. I love it. But back to Painted, a lot of people are having problems with the formula, saying it's inconsistent. Some of the paints are really watery and runny. Other people said that there are little balls in the paints. It is just not a good situation at all. Next, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation in the shade 3. So a lot of people have had problems with Painted, and allegedly James used a lab that is known to have quality control issues in the past. And Marlene Estelle, who once owned Makeup Geek, she's one of the OG influencers, said that that's really not a good lab to use. Oh my God, I've worn this foundation before, but I have to say it looks really good. It's pretty much your skin, but better. I'm loving it. Next, I'm going in with the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer in the shade 4. This is a great concealer. Is it pricey? Yes, but I think it's worth it. It's medium coverage. It depuffs. It brightens. It does everything you want a concealer to do. The concealer's blended out. What do we think? Some people aren't surprised about the quality control issues with Painted because Emmy Award winning and acclaimed makeup artist Kevin James Bennett came out saying that that was not a good lab to go with, the one James ultimately chose. And there are even ingredients in the red and orange paints that could stain, and they advertise them as being safe for use around the eye area. I set my face with the Huda Beauty powder in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake, and then I used the ColourPop Pretty Fresh pressed face powder in the shade Fair just to lightly dust all over as a finishing powder. And now I'm going in with the Fun Purifying Setting Mist from Wet n Wild. This is from the SpongeBob collection. I love Wet n Wild sprays. They always smell good. They get the job done. Are they the best on the market? No, but I think they're good, especially for how cheap they are. This is the problem people are having right now. A lot of popular influencers and even some A-list celebrities are supporting James Charles by using his makeup. This is a very strange situation because James Charles admitted to being a predator in a YouTube video and then later deleted it. What some of these influencers have been able to do is completely rebrand themselves on TikTok. And not just James Charles, but people like Jeffree Star. And he's definitely in the drama again these days. But Jeffree Star appeared on the Dumb Blonde podcast and totally came out against James Charles, basically saying he's the biggest piece of you-know-what in the beauty industry. The reason why James is still able to have a career is because of all these problematic influencers that have been supporting him. And even people like Kim Kardashian. Seriously, you're supporting a predator? It's really disturbing how much support James Charles has because they are obviously not thinking about the victims. James Charles himself called these people victims. People who he was sexting with, sending inappropriate photos, and they were minors, okay? They were children. James Charles hurt children. By the way, I just wanted to say I did bronzer and blush. I used the LYS Beauty No Limits Cream Bronzer Stick in the shade Motivate. Then I set the cream bronzer with this powder bronzer from Milani. It's the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade Sunkissed. For blush, I used the Dewy Soft Pinch Liquid Blush from Rare Beauty in the shade Hope. Such a pretty shade. These blushes are so pigmented. For highlight, I used the Sub-Zero Highlight Collection, which is a collaboration between Be Perfect Cosmetics and Mama Mitchell. I used my favorite shade in the palette, this one here, called MMMM. I just layered my highlight using the Jaclyn Cosmetics Loose Highlighter in the shade Extra. Oh my god, you can see that glow from outer space. We have to call out all these people who are supporting James Charles because ultimately they are predator protectors and predator apologists. And I'm talking about people like Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Gabriel Zamora, Nikki Tutorials, Raw Beauty Christy. They have all seemed to come out and support James Charles in one form or another. I just lined my lips with the NYX lip pencil in the shade Nude Truffle, and then to fill it in, I'm using the Milani Color Fetish Matte Lipstick in the shade Pleasure, one of my favorite nudes. These lipsticks are so creamy. And they're so opaque. Honestly, this performs like a high-end lipstick. For some gloss, I'm going to be using the Tower 28 Milky Lip Jelly in the shade Almond. This is what the applicator looks like. And we have achieved our glossy lip. Okay, I named all those influencers who are supporting James Charles. Another person who is Jaclyn Hill. She's been involved in so much controversy this year, so much drama. Of course, it's from her own doing, but she has come out in support of James Charles because in her latest YouTube video, she used the sponge from Painted, the white sponge. Why did she need to do that? Jaclyn, what's going on with you, girl? Now it's time to set this look. I'm using the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this stuff. Whenever I use this, my makeup doesn't move all day. I really like to have my makeup plastered on, so I'm going in with one more spray, the One Size On Till Dawn Waterproof Setting Spray. Here we go. Love it. That literally just reminded me. Patrick Starr, I love your products. Why are you supporting a predator? Why are you so close with James Charles? Why does he appear in your social media? Why? Manny MUA and Laura Lee, I bought your Fool Fantasy collection, but I'm very disappointed that you were so open and public about your support for James Charles. Why? I'm just asking why. This is the finished look. What do we think? We need to keep talking about James Charles because if we don't, Colleen Ballinger will be able to get away with it and maybe rebrand and still have a somewhat thriving career. This is wrong. These people hurt children. My look is complete. Now I have to get a few things done. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Love you.